after announcing a 2-week deadline to decide whether or not to enter the Israel-Iran war. In just 2 days, US President Donald Trump bombed Iran's nuclear sites. These precise American strikes using B-52 bombers came despite serious warning from the Iranian regime. Iran says it reserves all options to defend its sovereignty. It also slammed Washington, saying the US will stop at no illegality or crime to support Israel. Now, Iranian State Television has reportedly warned that every American citizen or military personnel in West Asia is now on Tehran's target. In fact, Iranian leaders have also warned of everlasting consequences. The Iranian Supreme Leader has already vowed not to surrender and warned of irreparable damage if America is involved in the war. But now that Trump has acted, let's take a look at the options before Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. The first option is to launch missile strikes on American bases in the region, in response to US strikes on Iranian nuclear bases. Iranian officials have specifically said that US ships and military bases would be targeted. While much of Iran's long-range missiles have been used for its ongoing strikes on Israel, it still has a formidable arsenal of short-range missiles and drones. In the past few weeks, US has taken high precautions. Before the strike, the US dispersed its naval presence in the region. Satellite images show that the US also moved some aircraft from bases in West Asia. Now, America has maintained a military footprint in West Asia for decades. It reportedly operates a network of bases, both permanent and temporary, across at least 19 locations in the region, out of which 8 of these are permanent bases in Bahrain, Egypt, Iraq, Jordan, Kuwait, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE. So which of these could be on Iran's hit list? The first is the Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar. This is the largest US base in West Asia. It reportedly houses over 10,000 troops along with over 100 aircraft and drones. Next is the Camp Arif Jan in Kuwait. This is a major US Army base just about 55 kilometers from Kuwait City and serves as the main logistics and command hub for operations across the region. Next is the Naval Support Activity Base in Bahrain. It is home to the US 5th Fleet and hosts about 9,000 personnel, including both military and civilian staff. Further south in the UAE, Al Dhafra Air Base is a key site for reconnaissance intelligence missions and combat air support. And in Iraq, the Al Asad Air Base remains strategic for air operations in Iraq and Syria. This was the same base targeted by Iranian missiles in 2020. The second option on the table is targeting the Strait of Hormuz. It is a critical oil transport route in West Asia and is seen as one of the lifelines of global oil trade. Around 20% of all oil traded globally and around 70% of Asia's crude and refined products pass through this tight checkpoint, which links the Persian Gulf to the Gulf of Oman. It's no exaggeration, closure here would rattle the global oil trade, so it would hit American pockets. Even a brief firefight could paralyze shipping traffic and spook investors, causing oil prices to spike. Iran could also choose to attack key oil and gas facilities in countries housing US bases. A drone attack on 2 major oil sites in Saudi Arabia in 2019, which was claimed by Iran-backed Houthis but widely blamed on Tehran, briefly cut the kingdom's oil production in half. The Houthis bring us to Iran's fourth option, activating the axis of resistance. Though the Tehran-backed network of militant group in West Asia stands weakened amid Israeli strikes since the October 7 attacks, it still has formidable capabilities. Israel's war on Gaza has weakened Hamas and mauled Lebanon's Hezbollah, killing most of its top leadership. But the Iranians could call on the Houthis. The Houthis had already threatened to resume their attacks in the Red Sea if the US entered the war. Houthis and even Iran's allied militias in Iraq have drone and missile capabilities to target assets belonging to the US and its allies in the region. And the fifth option before Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei is to sprint towards nuclear arms. Now, it could be days or weeks before the full impact of US strikes on Iran's nuclear sites is known. While Donald Trump says the 3 sites, Fordo, Natanz and Isfahan, have been totally obliterated, Tehran is playing it down. And experts have long warned that even joint US and Israeli strikes would only delay Iran's ability to make a nuclear weapon, not eliminate it. This is because Iran's nuclear program is dispersed across the country and across several sites, including hardened underground facilities. So even if Iran repairs or reconstitutes its nuclear program after US strikes, it could take Tehran some time. Until then, it could still decide fully to end its cooperation with the UN nuclear watchdog, IAEA, and abandon the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. Iran insists its program is peaceful, but it is the only non-nuclear armed state to enrich uranium up to 60%, keeping itself only a short step away from weapon-grade levels of 90%. So one thing is very clear. Donald Trump's strikes have put Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's regime in a fundamentally weak position. The Iranian regime will most likely leap at this last opportunity to save itself. They say a wounded tiger is a dangerous beast. So it is Tehran's turn to roll the dice now. Whether it chooses war or peace remains to be seen.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktoren,
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka karjo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Sekali radikali.
Japanese,
4 兆ドル以上も
Portuguese,
por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select the language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.